Blue Eyes is finally on the horizon. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. Now this is exciting, man. I finally can talk a little bit more about Blue Eyes and what we are kind of expecting with this deck this month, and all the goodness that comes with this. Like I said, smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So, a couple things I want to say here. I've read some very mixed opinions in my comment section from people that, one, don't believe Blue Eyes is going to be a competent deck. There's also another camp of people out here that think that Blue Eyes deck's just it's a pile of dog shit, it's not gonna do anything, deck is worthless. And then you've got the other camp of people that are like, yeah, I've got my Blue Eyes cards coming, I'm excited for this. And then you've got the other camp of people that are arguing about the better build out here of Blue Eyes. So the first thing I want to say here is, why are you still so hell-bent on spending $1,000 on Dragon Master Magia? And I do not understand this to this day. A lot of people in my comment section keep saying that the Lordly Load build is absolutely terrible. Nobody should be playing it. You're a terrible duelist for even looking at this deck. And I'm sitting here and I'm just like, why do you think this? What has possessed you to think that the Lordly Load version bad, but me spend $1,000? Deck good. Yes, me make Magia. Alright, well, first of all, I do not like the Magia build at all. It has not been a competitive build in the OCG for a very, very ever, actually. I think the people out here that are justifying this are doing one of two things. They want to feel special. They want to feel, that YouTuber, he's an idiot. I spent the $1,000. I took out the loan to get my Dragon Master Magia. I am able to play this deck. And I'm still sitting here, I'm looking over there in the corner. Good for you. I've heard, you think I'm crazy for saying this, man, but there were actually people that took out loans for Dragon Master Magias. All right, they don't want you to know that, but I've heard stories and I've seen it. All right, it's a scary thing taking $1,000 loan out on a Dragon Master Magia just to tell me that the Lordly Load build is not the better build. Okay. Y'all crazy. That's all I'm gonna say. And you gotta remember, Stampede is, right around the horizon. Anything's possible from there. So, Lordly Load build. I think the Lordly Load build is the go-to. I've played it. It feels good. The interactions that the deck gives you, Drill Beam, the recurability on Barrel is really good. Being able to set up the Stardust Cipher and being able to set up the Blue Eyes Negate and have both of them be protected. Having the Stardust Cipher protecting the true name is also really frickin' solid. You should not be underestimating what this kind of combination of cards is capable of doing. Now, there are going to be some really upsetting times that you're going to run into out here where your opponent's going to choke point your Crimson Dragon and you're going to be in this really weird situation. Also, don't be bad and jump the Spirit Dragon into the Blue Eyes, and then your opponent has, like two forms of interruption on the Crimson Dragon, and that, because then you're going to lose the Blue Eyes to it popping itself. You got to be very careful kind of how you're looking to set that up. So I want to preface that. The build can be very, very strong when it needs to be. It can also be very, very rough. Also, if you're starting off with the normal summon Sage in the deck, and you're obviously recruiting for the Sage into the good old New Maiden, and your opponent choke points the search there, and then you make the Blue Eyes, and then your opponent choke points out your field spell. Well, obviously, Sage is going to be the best card that your deck kind of has going for you. Obviously, they can also let the true name, or they can let the Maiden resolve into the True Light, and then the True Light can set, and they can choke point you out on the search there. The search for 2 is, I think, pretty important. I don't think a lot of people tend to value that quite that much, but it basically, True Light is the deck. If your opponent cuts you off or you can't actually do anything, that's where the Lordly Load build can kind of fall apart. But, depending on how many 1-card starters you're able to open, which is literally what the deck does. It 1-card starters into like the 1.5. The 1.5 needs the discard, which is not an issue whatsoever because depending on how you open up, you can also self-replace into Veilers. I also know that people are like, well, I don't really want to play Veiler, Robbie. You are playing Veiler in this. Veiler is searchable off of Sage. I don't know why you wouldn't want that. I don't get that either, but okay, you make your decisions on your deck. But that's the thing, like, all of this comes down to, I've done a lot of playtesting. I've done a lot of the research into the OCG. I've seen all these Lordly Load builds, and we still hit that same bias that we hit every single time, a new deck's coming out. You have the camp over here that just does not want to look at OCG results. You got these people that are like, oh my gosh, the OCG is a completely different place. They have 2 max D. It really makes a difference right now, Robbie. And, they're suffering succotash and all over the place. They're throwing you up upside the face with these facts that they think that they know. And I don't get it. I really don't. And this is also going to be a really weird thing, but I'm looking forward to the people out here that are they're gonna learn. To the casual Blue Eyes player, and I'm probably talking to maybe 1% of you out there. Here's the thing, all right, you can build Blue Eyes however you want. All right, you are welcome to do that. That's the casual player thing. Bingo Machine goes, you can throw in all the other Blue Eye stuff. Chaos Max, you can make your Dragon Master Magias, and that's fine. You can have success at a small locals. That is 100% possible. But once you start to move up the food chain to the case tournaments, you start to hit those regional circuits, you start to get to those more competitive scenes, you're going to notice a couple things. You're going to notice, oh shit, these bad cards are hindering my deck. And that's why people look at the Lordly Load build, because it cuts out a lot of the fat of those quote-unquote bad cards. You have way less bricks that you're dealing with. And I know Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon's going to look like an amazing card. You're going to feel like Seto Kaiba out here. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, Simcoe 40 guy has no idea what he's talking about. I'm going to play Blue Eyes Alternative. More power to you, man. I truly wish you the best on your locals grind experience out here. And I really hope that $1,000 for that Dragon Master Magia pays off. Sure, make sure you summon it every single duel. When your opponent hand trap pisses the crap out of you, and you're sitting there on the floor complaining that you spent this $1,000 and that you should be entitled to win the game because you spent that much money. We will truly see the pinnacle of this. But if you just want to be Seto Kaiba and you want to play for fun, more power to you. That's excellent. I actually recommend that. Go have your friends dig out their Yugi Gold Sarcophagus deck, and you get those character battles going, and you enjoy the game. 100%. But like I said, my major takeaway from this is when people spend this absurd amount of money and they become entitled to thinking that they're going to win every single game, or that this card is so incredibly broken that having the privilege of having one means that they're going to win every single game. That's not what we're seeing here at all. And it is interesting. But to the Magia enjoyers, go for it. Can't wait for the guy to show up at locals with a PSA 10 in a case, slaps it down on the table, and goes, I am ready to play my Magia. Okay. Sure, man. It is what it is. So, Blue Eyes is on the horizon. Things are going to be very good if you choose to play the deck casually or competitively. Understand that there is a better variation of the deck. Consistency might not always be on your side, and just because you've picked up a Dragon Master Magia does not mean that you will have a good shot of winning. It will not improve your consistency, but a bit, and the Lordly Load in my build, or in my opinion, is still better. Blue Eyes will change the meta. I don't care what anybody says, whether or not it's rogue, meta, it's over there in the corner taking your mom on a date. It doesn't matter. It's coming, it's going to do something, and it's going to be a good time. You guys have a good rest of your day, alright? Patrons! Thank you! Ah!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.